to Lawrence Joel Coliseum for the 3A West Regional Final. It's the number 1 and number 2 seeds, the Red Tornadoes from Hickory, taking on Central Cabarrus, a pair of 31-0 teams. And here's a look at that 3A bracket. The Falcons of 71st await the winner Friday. Time to be determined as we jump right into this one. Hi everyone, Kendall Lewis alongside the former coach John Reister here with you on the NFHS Network tonight. And John, let's just jump right into it. You've got two heavyweights that have been on a collision course all season long for one another.
They are the motor right there. Everything starts and ends with them.
Those guys, the DNA, as Jim Baker says, of this team, as you can see, averaging over 15 assists per game. On the other side, Hickory, as we mentioned, 31-0, and it all starts with the big John Holbrook, 6'8", 230 pounds. This is a guy that, a senior class that 95-6, John, the last 4 years.
Absolutely, and Holbrook, a Tennessee preferred walk-on signee. I mean, the kid's 6'8", 230. He's a beast inside. The problem is Central Cabarrus is going to make it real hard for him to get the basketball.
Both these teams like to get up and down. Hickory, a lethal three-point shooting team, averaging 82 points per game and 23 assists. This is a team that can move it as well. Central Cabarrus, high flying. They've lost one game the last 3 seasons combined. And here we go from Lawrence Joel Coliseum. Hickory in the white unis, Central Cabarrus in the gray, and the Vikings win the opening tip. We get underway at the top. The 6'9", Josh Dalton, he can shoot it from there. And off the mark on the first possession.
And here comes Central Cabarrus with the pressure, Kendall. This is where it all starts for them.
They start out in that 2-2-1, and they will mix it up. And, John, they are so good communication on defense, they really take the sidelines away.
Well, they do that, and then they match up with what you try to do. If you get it to the middle, they're going to take that away. If you push up sideline, they're going to take that away eventually.
Lineberger feeds it, corner three, you betcha! Jay Powell, and the Red Tornadoes strike first. Here's Carson Daniel, surveys the floor, heading to Catalba with his twin brother. The kick out, open look, three, there's the answer. Noah Edmiston.
We're going to see a lot of threes from both teams tonight, Kendall.
Both these teams, two really good head coaches, Daniel Willis and Jim Baker on the sidelines. Same spot, tapped around, out of bounds. It's going to stay on this end with Hickory. And
I tell you what, Hickory does some real interesting things on their out-of-bounds plays, most of it off a 1-4 low.
Jamian Little will trigger the ball in for the Red Tornadoes. This is a Hickory team, as we mentioned, 95-6 the last 4 years. Getting to the cup, and Powell sticks it in. He's got the first 5 points. And pushing the tempo, here comes Chase Daniel. DJ Kent, mid-range jumper, the answer.
Boy, he's averaging 20 points a game, Kendall, and mid-range is his game. We just saw that with that beautiful shot from the elbow.
Against Central Cabarrus, even when they're not turning you over, they speed you up. Powell down the baseline, nowhere to go, loose change, picks back up. Dalton alters it, and here comes DJ Kent. Numbers for the Vikings. Up ahead, Daniel, off glass, yes. And Central Cabarrus has the first lead. Vikings' first lead of the ball game. Each team matching each other shot for shot so far. Short on the jumper. Picked back up, and then stick back, yes. Wow. Central Cabarrus faithful wanted a whistle.
Yeah, a lot of contact there underneath. Looked like his hand got grabbed, and what took him down to the floor.
Kent, a whistle and a late foul comes in.
Yeah, it looked like Hickory was going the other way, Kendall, when they blew that whistle.
And DJ Kent will head to the free throw line for Central Cabarrus. John, this is a kid that is headed to play at Division II Lees McRae next year with his former teammate Gavin Bullock, who was on the state championship team a year ago as you get a look at Jim Baker right there, 20-year college coach at Catawba. Just a storied coaching career. And DJ Kent, a guy that Coach Baker calls the mayor. He's got a great personality, shakes everyone's hand, very outgoing. And trying to feed it inside to Holbrook. It was deflected out of bounds.
And I like that. Holbrook is the X factor, but can they get him to the ball? That's the big question. They put so much pressure on the perimeter.
Powell's had the hot hand here early. Short, Holbrook, offensive board. Here comes the trap. Edmiston deflects it, and it turns into a steal. Daniel, DJ Kent sets his feet. Off the mark from three. Rebound Lineberger. Running the floor in transition. Littlejohn trying to change hands. And wait a minute.
Yeah, they called a travel. Chase Daniel hustling back and getting between the Hickory ball handler and the basket created that turnover.
Well, Hickory, a pressing team as well. Daniel Willis said, look, we want as many or more possessions, as many shots as Central Cabarrus takes. So this is a lethal three-point shooting team, the Red Tornadoes. And Kent misses the bunny from close range.
Yeah, he should have went up and hammered that one.
Lineberger skips it. Powell trapped in the corner, nowhere to go. Here comes across. Lineberger again. This time he connects from deep.
I like the fact that Hickory is switching the sides of the floor and how they're attacking the pressure.
Dalton, the easy stick in, off the fine from Daniel. We are tied at 9 apiece. They scored that last bucket of a 2. Said his foot was on the line from Hickory, so we're tied at 9. Holbrook catches and draws the contact.
Yeah, not good awareness by Josh Dalton. He's got to see the ball a little bit better because once they get it across half court, their first option is John Holbrook. They're going to be looking inside.
3A West regional final. Again, 71st awaits the winner of this one as Holbrook swirls in the first free throw. John Holbrook, the leading scorer, comes in, and Daniel Willis told me yesterday this is the go-to guy, a guy that's got a preferred walk-on spot at Tennessee. And again, you think about that transfer portal in college today, and college coaches, John, just not recruiting a lot of high school kids anymore.
No, you've got to be a stud to get a scholarship straight out of high school anymore, and that's too bad because a lot of these kids can play at the next level, but they're going to have to wait their turn at a JUCO or at a prep school somewhere.
And Central Cabarrus off the Josh Dalton 3 retakes the lead. And a whistle and a foul against the Vikings. Let's take a second look. Josh Dalton at 6'9", has multiple Division I offers, knocks down the 3.
He's 35% from 3 candles, so he can shoot it. And he's got 23 makes this year. Now he's got 24.
Jordan Lineberger will trigger it in. This is actually his first year with the program. Daniel Willis told me, he says he is one of the most athletic kids he's had the ability to coach, and a guy that has got Division III and NAIA interest. Dangerous pass, and DJ Kent deflects it out of bounds.
Well, Hickory's going to have to get some guys off the bench some playing time because the Central Cabarrus team is going to wear you down. We're not going to see the effects till about mid-third quarter, late third quarter, but it's going to be obvious. If you only play 6 or 7 guys, you're in big trouble.
Mari Russell's in for the first time for Central Cabarrus as this one gets knocked out of bounds. And it's going to stay on this end with the Red Tornadoes. Hickory out of the Western Foothills 3A Conference. Central Cabarrus out of the South Piedmont. 2 very good leagues. Dalton had it knocked out of his hands. They say off his leg. It's going to go back the other way.
Yeah, and I don't like that call, Kendall. The official is behind the play. These guys are going to have to get moving because the ball's going to be going up and down the floor. So these officials are going to have to stay ahead of the ball to make that call.
We think about officials, that's the toughest job, obviously, but especially in this game with these two teams at the paces that they want to play.
Well, yeah, they should have known that going in. I'm sure they did some homework. They know what these teams are going to do. But seeing it on film and seeing it in person, it's a completely different animal, how fast these teams play.
Both these teams have won a lot of games by 40-plus with the running clocks this year. Central Cabarrus has had a running clock in all but 3 of their games this year, and they played a tough non-conference schedule.
I tell you, with these balls getting knocked out of bounds in the half court, that actually favors Hickory, Kendall, because it allows them to get into their sets. If it's up and down, Central Cabarrus is not going to let you run anything. So this actually helps them.
And Russell's momentum carries him right into Jordan Powell. And Russell picks up his first. Team foul number 3 on the Vikings here.
Zane Krenzel in for Hickory. He's a sniper now. Central Cabarrus has got to know where he's at on the three-point line.
Little skips it to Jordan Powell. Good ball movement, attacking the rim, wave it off, offensive foul.
Just another example of what the Daniels boys do. Their basketball IQ's off the charts. Stepping in, taking that charge.
That time it was Carson. These kids are the DNA of this program. Chase and Carson Daniel heading to play at Catawba. Known as the Daniel Duo. Great kids, great personalities. As Jim Baker described them, they just win. This is a group of seniors that has been super special. Again, one loss the last 3 seasons.
Well, it just changed the whole culture at Central Cabarrus, and it's all started with the Twins.
Tap back, that time from Chase. He couldn't finish it, but the Vikings will reset. Russell sets his feet from 3, and it won't go. Boy, 3 good looks for the Vikings and a lid on the rim. In transition, coast to coast, the whistle and a foul.
Yeah, not a good play by Josh Dalton. Smaller guy coming at a big. You got to go get it up at the glass. Don't go to his hand. The official's going to call that almost every time.
At the free throw line is Jordan Powell for Hickory. This is a Red Tornadoes team we mentioned out of the Western Foothills Conference. They have been the #1 team in the RPI rankings the entire season. Both of these teams have hovered around that 1-2 spot. Of course, Central Cabarrus going undefeated last year, winning the 3A state championship over Northwood at Reynolds Coliseum. And we are tied at 12. This has been an exciting first quarter. Carson Daniel surveys, gets it to his twin brother Chase. These kids impact the game in so many different ways. Chase attacking the skip. Here's the coach's son, Jake Baker. Russell double clutches, the lob up top, and Kent had it stripped out of his hands. Quick hands from Lineberger. Just took it away on the pickpocket. Krenzel, he can shoot it, attacking the baseline, trying to go off the bounce. Grabs his own miss, no. How about a third chance? He just stays with it, John.
Boy, I tell you, you won't see that very often at Central Cabarrus. They don't allow a lot of offensive rebounds, and Hickory just got 3 of them.
Scoring and the foul on the other end. Chase Daniel absorbing the contact and a chance at 3.
And the big thing is, Kendall, make or miss on this free throw allows them to get in their pressure. And they haven't been in their pressure for 2 or 3 possessions, and Hickory's looked really good when they haven't had to face that pressure.
You know, what's so interesting about the Daniel twins is that they committed to Catawba, Division II out of the South Atlantic Conference after their sophomore year, have a great relationship with the coaching staff, and Russell takes it away and then a foul.
And it's not just the steals, it's the deflections, it's the speeding you up, it's the passes you throw out of bounds because you're not used to playing in that place. So, you know, there's a lot of things that go into what Central Cabarrus is trying to do.
Balanced scoring attack from both of these squads so far. Multiple lead changes, a couple of different ties in the first quarter. Just over 90 seconds left to go in the first. Russell gets it to Chase Daniel, trying to skip it out to Jake Baker and a turnover.
And I tell you, Hickory's doing a good job defensively in the half court. You know, they just need to continue to score. And then I think instead of trying to pressure Central Cabarrus, they need to just get back and play that matchup zone. They're doing a really good job with it.
Hickory's a team that's got good length. Most of their wings at 6'3", 6'4". Of course, big John Holbrook at 6'8", 230. Catch and shoot three. That's Jamian Little. Tap back, no. Holbrook fighting for the rebound. Out of bounds. It's going to stay on this end with the Red Tornadoes.
Hickory doing an outstanding job on the offensive glass. That's what's keeping them in this ball game right now.
Whistle comes in off ball, and that's going to be the fourth team foul with 1:15 to go in the first quarter.
And I'm not 100% certain, but that might be the second foul on Chase Daniel, and that's huge if it is.
Runner no. Russell skies up for the rebound. He'll look to push. Kent running the floor, and Carson Daniel on the finish. Central Cabarrus by 3. Final minute of the first quarter. Bounce feed inside, taken away. Chase on the steal to his brother Carson. Carson looking, surveys. Instead, he'll pull it back out.
Good transition defense by Hickory.
And Chase drives in and a whistle and a foul against Hickory. Here's a look at that aforementioned bracket. 71st taking down Westover, a pair of Fayetteville teams earlier in the 3A East regional final. A very good 71st team with good guard play, length, athleticism, and they await the winner. They are in the building scouting these two teams in the 3A state championship Friday night here in Lawrence Joel Coliseum.
That game, Kendall, and they look good. A lot of good ball handlers, shooters, and they really get after you on defense.
This is the largest lead of the game for the Vikings at 5. 25 seconds. Driving in, off glass, no. Holbrook, offensive board, trying to go back up, tapped out, and finally Carson Daniel secures the rebound. DJ Kent, showtime here at the Joel.
And things are really getting ready to get pumped up here for Central Cabarrus. They got the crowd going.
And if you're Hickory, this is where you got to be careful. Central Cabarrus can explode in a hurry. And a whistle and a foul on the shot from midcourt.
Oh, my goodness. And I think that's on Chase Daniel. You got to be kidding me.
Wow.
I'd like to see a replay on that.
Jim Baker is beside himself on the sidelines.
Wow, that could be a huge turn of events, Kendall. If that's a third foul on Chase Daniel, he's going to have to sit down to the second half.
And at the free throw line is Jordan Powell. And look at Jim Baker still pleading his case with the officials.
Well, I think he's got a pretty good case, Kendall.
There were 0.3 of a second. That's what they put back on the game clock here at Lawrence Joel. And the second one spins off.
And if you're Central Cabarrus, you got to box out. You can't allow an offensive stick back in this 0.3 seconds.
Two of 3 at the line. And Hickory within 5 after 1. 21-16. We got a good one in the 3A West regional final from Lawrence Joel Coliseum. We'll be right back on the NFHS Network.
You know, I love being local for my customers. It means helping friends and neighbors. The people in this county care about who they walk beside. That's what makes it so good to live here.
North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance, helping you.
NCHSAA Championship event is brought to you by North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance. Helping you is what we do best.
We come back to Lawrence Joe Coliseum after one. Central Cabarrus leading Hickory 21-16. And with 0.3 of a second, Chase Daniel picked up his second foul on a heave from midcourt by Jordan Powell.
Well, he's still out there, Kendall, so the coach has got utmost confidence in him to not pick up that third.
Holbrook with his first bucket of the ball game pulls the Red Tornadoes within 3 to start the second quarter. Russell skips it. Here's Jake Baker. From distance, it rims out. Good tap out. DJ Kent goes and gets it. And trying to find his brother Chase cutting to the basket. They thought it was deflected, and it's going to go back to Hickory.
Yeah, they don't turn the ball over a lot. Only 10 turnovers a game, is despite the speed that they're playing at, Kendall. So, you know, he may have had a point. Hickory might have got a finger on that.
Lineberger drops it off inside. And just like that, a mini 4-0 run to start the second quarter.
Well, they're attacking Central Cabarrus, and that's what you got to do. You can't stay on your heels. They're just going to take it from you.
Carson spinning, knocked to the floor, no whistle. Lineberger trying to skip it to Little. He'll try it from 3. And Holbrook, a shove in the back, is whistled for the foul. And here comes that pressure from Hickory. And tapped away along the baseline. What Carson Daniel is motioning to the official that his jersey's being held. Again, these are two physical teams, two very good defensive teams as well. And this first half's been back and forth. On the step back 3, you betcha. Carson Daniel, ice in his veins.
And he's 32%, Kendall. He's one of the better shooters for Central Cabarrus. He probably needs to shoot a little more.
Turnover, right back to him. Heat check. And this one swirls out. Offensive rebound, Vikings. Russell, the skip. Baker to Chase. Trying to slice in. Russell looked at the 3. Instead, he wants the baseline. Kicks it out. Chase, open look. You betcha. Back-to-back triples.
Incredible ball movement by Central Cabarrus.
And lead back up to 7. And last touch by Chase Daniel. They thought it went off the leg of Lineberger, and it's going to stay with Hickory.
Well, that's a good call. Central Cabarrus got out of bounds first. The ball was pinned between the two players, so that's a good call by the officials.
These two teams in incredible shape as Baker reaches in and gets called for the foul. Tell you what, Central Cabarrus, John, was a team that coming into this game only averaged about 11 fouls per, but it's starting to add up here in the first half.
Yeah, they're not used to the speed of Hickory. Hickory's got some athletes, so you know they're not used to being playing people as athletic as they are.
They get it up ahead to Holbrook. Jordan Powell tosses back. Jamian Little, who's already scored over 1,000 points, number 14 in white for Hickory as a junior. And a foul along the baseline. And let's see who they gave it to. And it was on Chase Daniel.
And he's going to have to sit down the rest of this half, Kendall.
Yep, and that is going to be number 3 on Chase.
That's a huge blow to Central Cabarrus.
Yep. You're talking about the Daniel duos. We showed you at the top of the broadcast. It averages over 15 assists together and 8 steals when they're on the floor together. And a kick ball.
I think that hit him in the leg. I don't think that hit him in the foot.
Lineberger will trigger it in for Hickory. So again, Hickory led most of the first quarter as they find Holbrook rolling to the basket, and he flushes it home.
Yeah, a little bit too much strength for DJ Kent to handle underneath. He's given up probably 50 or 60 pounds to Holbrook.
And a timeout will keep it right here at Lawrence Joe Coliseum. Take a look at the Daniel twins hitting it from 3. Here's the second one. That time it was Chase. And just after that, picked up his 3rd foul. And Hickory with a response, finding their big guy, John Holbrook, on the roll to the basket, who flushes it home.
Excellent job of slipping that screen. Central Cabarrus wasn't ready for it. I tell you, Josh Dalton's been out for a while with 2 fouls. It may be time for Coach Baker to get him back in there. They don't want Holbrook to get going inside.
Central Cabarrus hampered with foul trouble here in this first half. Over 5 minutes left to play. DJ Kent pushes it. Edmiston, he can shoot it from there. And just rims off. He hit a 3 in the first quarter early in this one. Had a clean look there. Here's the skip. Lineberger will try it from 3. Out of bounds. This is going to go back to the Vikings.
Hickory now 1 for 8 for 3. What's keeping them in is the offensive rebounds.
Yeah, and John, you've coached in big arenas. How much does a depth perception play when you play in an environment like this?
Well, it's huge. I mean, it takes you a while to get used to it. And Central Cabarrus has played in these arenas before.
Caden Smith from 3 gives Central Cabarrus an 8-point lead. Hickory gets it into the front court. Isaiah Littlejohn, who's been a little bit quiet in this first half. Floater turned back by Daniel. Second opportunity, and DJ Kent snatches it away. And a whistle and a shove in the back.
Boy, DJ Kent's really stepping up on the glass with Josh Dalton having to sit down with those 2 fouls. You know, the Daniels boys really help out on the glass. Both of them averaging about 5 or 6 rebounds a game. But now with Chase Daniels sitting down, his brother Carson's going to have to step up and get in there and help on the boards.
Just over 4 left to play. First half, and a whistle and a foul on Jay Powell from behind. We talk about the foul trouble for Central Cabarrus. Isaiah Littlejohn has 3 fouls for Hickory.
And that's big because he's their most athletic player. I mean, he's one of the guys that can hang with DJ Kent on the glass and down in the lane. So, you know, that's a big blow for Hickory.
And Carson Daniel bringing it up the floor for the Vikings. Midway point of the second quarter. Trying to find Kent on the lob. It was last touched by Hickory. And Carson Daniel gets it into DJ Kent. He'll face up, spins, and lost control.
Good diagonal press to beat that pressure. But they're just going to keep coming at you.
Extra pass. Oh, sweet ball movement. Corner pocket 3. You betcha. Jay Powell knocks it down.
That extra pass was beautiful.
Again from 3, that time from Caden Smith. Offensive board, tapped back by DJ Kent.
John Holbrook's got to get it back on DJ Kent.
Lead feet ahead, and stepping on the sideline and turning it over is Jay Powell. Hickory with 10 turnovers here in the first half so far. On the step back, Kent the rebound, back up, cleans it up.
I tell you, DJ Kent is the only one that can hit the offensive glass for Central Cabarrus, and nobody is hitting him on the shot. All they're doing is ball watching, and DJ Kent's getting a free run to the front of the rim.
Get a second look. DJ Kent everywhere. Long, athletic, 6'6", lanky body.
And like I said, you got to find him. You got to get a back on him because he's the only one hurting you on the offensive glass.
Dumping it inside Holbrook, deep position, draws the body contact on Kent. And that is just going to be Kent's first. And team foul number 3 on the Vikings here late second quarter. And Holbrook can't get the roll in the first. Well, we mentioned John Holbrook. He's got a preferred walk-on offer at Tennessee. This is a guy that is a force inside, very skilled, very good footwork, John.
Absolutely. And, you know, at 6'8", 230, he'll probably go in there. They'll probably sweat about 10 pounds off of him. He might not be done growing. And he's going to be playing for Hickory High School's own Rick Barnes at Tennessee. You got to love that.
Well, of course, he's been accepted to a couple of other schools. He has that option if he wants it. Carson Daniel, the skip. Caden Smith will dial it up from deep again. Tapped around. Russell had it momentarily, loose on the floor. And Hickory comes away with it. A 2-on-2. Jay Powell pulls up from 3 and connects.
That's the best look from 3 they've had this half. Great decision to pull up on that three-point line.
Back and forth we go, and this one off the hands of Edmiston. Here's the lob ahead. Numbers for Hickory. Tapped around, stuck back in. Lineberger follows it up. And a takeaway in the backcourt. And turned back by Kent. And Russell knocked out of bounds. That one's going to go against Jordan Powell. We'll take a second look. And what you'll find, folks, is most of what DJ Kent and Josh Dalton block is back in play, a trait that I think is very underrated about the two bigs for Central Cabarrus.
Oh, absolutely, Kendall. And what it does, gets them in transition instead of giving it back to the offensive player out of bounds so they can run a set.
Carson Daniel kicks it. Russell in the corner. Russell, they get him for the offensive foul.
Wow. Wow. I don't know about that one, Kendall. Well, yeah, he threw the elbow out. But at the same time, Jay Powell wasn't in guarding position. He had his back turned.
Here's the skip across for the equalizer. You betcha. The sniper from 3, Zane Krenzel. Daniel trying to bully his way to the rack, draws the foul.
They come right back at you. You give up a 3 to get it in quick, and right as soon as you turn around and get done celebrating, they're laying it in at the other end.
Hickory from 9 down has tied this thing up with 1:32 left to play in the second quarter. And it's up and good. The first from Carson Daniel.
Kendall, after missing 7 straight threes, Hickory has made their last 3. That's what's gotten them back in this game.
And makes them both. Clutch is the senior Carson Daniel, and Jake Baker will check back in for the Vikings.
Jake Baker's got to step up. With Chase Daniel sitting down at least to the third quarter, they got to get some good minutes from him.
Here's the kick. Just off the mark. And Kent pulls in the rebound. He'll put it on the deck. He'll lead the break himself. The kick ahead. And now the Vikings looking to reset. Russell, nice ball fake, a really good driver. Trying to slice in through contact, can't finish. Kent back up, off glass, no. Russell the rebound, and then a foul.
Boy, they're letting them play inside, and I like that, Kendall, with the stakes of this game going to a state championship if you win it. Let the players decide it out there on the floor. But let's not keep calling these knick-knack, ticky-tacky fouls out on the floor if you got to let them play around the basket.
Amari Russell is a kid that played JV last year and has really improved his game from a season ago to this year.
But with the Twins graduating this year, he's going to have to keep this tradition going. He's going to be the leader of that team next year.
Oh, no doubt about it. Jake Baker as well, a junior, the coach's son. And Amari Russell, known for his defensive prowess. This is a guy that has kind of taken on that sixth-man role, if you will, for the Vikings this year.
Well, he can really get downhill, and he's showing that right now. And I like the fact that he's attacking Hickory because they can now score from the free throw line and then get into their pressure.
So again, both of these teams hampered with foul trouble in the first half. Chase Daniel on the bench. He's been since about the 5.5-minute mark with 3. Isaiah Littlejohn also in foul trouble for Hickory. And a whistle and a foul down the baseline, trying to shoot the floater.
That's 2 on DJ Kent. See it, take a look at it here, Kendall. Yeah, he brought the arms down. You can't bring him down. Got to stay vertical.
Jay Powell at the charity stripe knocks down the first. And this is going to be a game of attrition with these two styles and these two exciting brands of basketball. Two of the best teams in the state, regardless of classification, on the floor here tonight in the 3A West Regional Final. Central Cabarrus by 2. Baker, good shot fake. Extra pass, gets it back out front to Carson Daniel. He lost it, out of bounds. It's going to stay on this end with the Vikings.
Well, I tell you, Zane Krenzel, really quick hands from behind. You don't see many people take the ball from Carson Daniel when he's attacking the rim.
Baker throws it away, a turnover. And Edmiston, wow. Thought he picked it clean, and a whistle and a foul comes in.
I thought he picked it clean, too. And it don't get any cleaner than that, Kendall. I tell you, this game's getting too fast for the officials.
And each team over the limit here, which is going to send Hickory to the free throw line with 20.5 seconds left in the second quarter. And first one's up and good.
I tell you, with 20 seconds left in this half, if I'm Coach Baker, I may put Josh Dalton back in for this last offensive possession.
Second one swirls out, but an offensive rebound. Little trying to pull the trigger. Offensive board turned back by Kent. The stick in, yes, from Zane Krenzel. Russell leaking out with 9 seconds. Kent hit on the layup. Russell saves it along the baseline. Russell reverses it home just as the horn comes to sound. Score the basket. And Central Cabarrus goes into the locker room with a 1-point lead here at halftime.
Well, I tell you what, Amari Russell just being relentless, taking that ball to the hole. That's a big bucket, Kendall, going in at the half.
40-39. We'll be right back from the Joel.
You know, I love being local for my customers. It means helping friends and neighbors. The people in this county care about who they walk beside. That's what makes it so good to live here.
North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance. Helping you is what we do best.
NCHSAA Championship event is brought to you by North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance. Helping you is what we do best.
Second chance points. Central Cabarrus has got 9 second chance points.
What are the fouls? Have they got the fouls?
Yeah. 12-11.
So it's pretty even. Let's see what else they got. Points off they got points off turnovers. Central Cabarrus only 7. Whoa, that's huge.
But you don't think that team averages over 40 a game off turnovers, probably.
Okay, so Hickory's got how many?
13.
And Central Cabarrus?
Got 7.
That's the story of the game right there. That's absolutely the story of the game. So Chase Daniels, the only one with 3 fouls. Let me see what else we got. Blocks, 10. Turnovers, 10, 8. Who's got 10? Hickory's got 10.
No, Central Cabarrus.
It's got 10 turnovers, and Hickory's only got 8. Wow, that's huge. Yeah.
Hey, can you slow it down?
Yeah.
No, just fine. I'm just going to spread a little bit. You can lean around that.
Do what?
I said you can lean around that or look that side. I like looking at that.
These regional basketball championship games are streaming live right now on the NCHSAA network. Friends and family who can't make it to tonight's game can watch action live on NCHSnetwork.com. This game, along with all other regional basketball games, will be on demand later so you can relive the regional championship action. Subscribe now to view the NCHSAA basketball regional championships. On behalf of Visit Winston-Salem,
Hold on, let me get on my jacket. But you got your pen open. I'm saying don't
Oh.
mark on me.
Why not?
there's a lot of things. Here is the City of Arts and Innovation, a place with big city amenities and small town charm. We're home to a celebrated scene.
So Josh Dalton's only got what, 2 points?
Oh, yeah. Now look one more row down. He's right there in front of that guy. Oh, okay. I'm gonna use that then. I'll see you.
They require the best. That's why Wilson has served for over 100 years. Learn more at Wilson.com. The North Carolina International Guard is a proud sponsor of the basketball championships.
Fatigue, baby. We'll see what it looks like at the end of the third quarter.
I just tell you, man, I do think reports on both sides, though, I think they need to let them play.
Well, I don't like.
You got to let them play.
The two guys. I hate to say it.
North Carolina Farm Bureau has offers in all one offering a host
Chase Daniels back in the game, number 4 in gray, playing with 3 fouls. Daniels spins, kicks it. Carson, open look for 3, off the mark. Tapped out of bounds. It's going to go the other way.
23, Isaiah Littlejohn back in. He sat most of the second quarter with 3 fouls. They've got to get him going in the second half. He's their best athlete and their best scorer in post.
Chase Daniel with 3, Isaiah Littlejohn with 3. DJ Ken had 2. Josh Dalton for Central Cabarrus picked up his second late first quarter. Open look, corner 3, you betcha. Jamian Little, who was a wide receiver on that Hickory State football championship this fall, knocks it down. He's already over 1,000 points in his basketball career. He's only a junior.
Yeah, he's a player, a tremendous athlete. Probably going to play football in college, but I tell you what, that's a nice-looking stroke from the corner.
He's going to play football somewhere as a high major Division I football recruit with plenty of offers. And a whistle and a foul. We'll take a second look.
Got his feet set, take your time, nice rhythm shot.
And Hickory's got a 2-point lead, and going up and drawing the contact is Chase Daniel. He's going to head to the free throw line for a pair.
And that might be number 4 on Isaiah Littlejohn. Okay, they called on Jamian Little. Hickory dodged the bullet right there.
Now that is Jamian Little's second. Team foul number 2 here in the third quarter on the Red Tornadoes of Hickory. Chase Daniel makes the second.
Interested to see if Central Cabarrus is going to tweak their pressure a little bit, because Hickory did a good job of handling it against them.
This is a lot of times the quarter that you see teams, the legs start to fall off when you play against Central Cabarrus.
Well, you know, they say fatigue makes cowards of us all, and that's what Central Cabarrus counts on in the second half.
Little, quick crossover dribble, slithers into the paint, scoring in the foul. Oh my goodness, Jamian Little.
Kendall, did Jamian Little play in the first half? I didn't see him out. I don't remember seeing him out there.
Making his presence known here in the third quarter. And can't complete the three-point play. And tapped out of bounds.
If I'm Central Cabarrus, I've got to get the ball inside to Josh Dalton. We got to get the big guy going. He sat over half of the first half, and they're going to need him if they're going to win this ball game.
Carson Daniel brings it into the front court. Bullet feed inside to Kent. Bobbled it momentarily, but got it back and ties the game at 44.
A lot of contact inside. Surprised when a foul called.
Little brings it up the floor. So in control, the junior for Hickory. We mentioned multi-sport talent. Edmiston nearly took it away. And he pulls in the rebounds. Carson Daniel sizing up Lineberger. And Hickory mixes and matches on defense. Carson Daniel takes it in, changing hands, gets the smooth roll.
Absolutely no help from Hickory. I'm a little surprised. Everybody's just hugging their man.
And the Vikings back up on top by 2. Almost this entire lower bowl full, and have been on their feet multiple times in this ball game.
Great atmosphere for this ball game.
Winner of this one gets 71st in the 3A state championship Friday night. Powell looking. Thought about the 3. He'll try to drive. Lost his footing. He shuffled the feet and traveled.
Tremendous closeout by Carson Daniel to force that turnover. And you got to get out on Jay Powell. He's 3 for 5 from 3 in the first half.
I'll tell you a guy that really played big minutes, and we're going to see him, I imagine, here in the next minute or so, get back into the game with Zane Krenzel. 7 first-half points, a big 3 late in the second, and a putback for Hickory that gave the Red Tornadoes a lead at one point. And Carson Daniel cashes in from deep. Jordan Lineberger surveys the floor. This is a guy that Coach Daniel Willis said is one of the most athletic kids he's ever coached. Holbrook, inside position on Dalton, and he gets the best of him.
And that was one of the few times Central Cabarrus didn't have great pressure on the perimeter. And if they do not get pressure, they're going to get the ball inside the Holbrook, and it's going to be a problem.
And that was Isaiah Littlejohn's 4th foul. We get a look at Holbrook's bucket inside. And Littlejohn's going to have a seat with 4:15 left to play in the 3rd quarter.
You got Jordan Powell, 6'2 freshman, coming back in. Jay's little brother, I would assume. But these are big moments for a freshman.
Edmiston sets his feet from distance, and it rattles out. Up the floor, Powell for the equalizer. You betcha. Jay Powell, 17 points for Hickory. Catch and shoot, Chase Daniel fouled, shooting at 3.
Jamie Little, a little late on the closeout. And I don't know how you lose Jay Powell. He's now 4 for 6 for the game on 3. You got to know where he's at.
Well, Chase Daniel and Carson Daniels, we mentioned this senior class of DJ Kent, the Daniel twins, over 100 wins and just 3 losses, John, in their 4-year high school careers. I think you'd be hard-pressed to find another group across the country with accolades like that.
Well, I don't think you will unless you go to one of these, basketball powerhouse, academies or something like that who are routinely out there playing, 40 games a year. Athletic Association doesn't like you play over 23 a year, so, that's a tremendous number for a high school basketball player.
Makes all 3 and gives the Vikings a 3-point lead. Krenzel was clutch in the first half. We mentioned a big 3 late second quarter is back in the game for Hickory. A deadly knockdown 3-point shooter. And Little hits it from deep to tie it.
That was a deep 3, Kendall. That was out NBA range.
DJ Kent can't get the bounce. Lead feet ahead. Lineberger just beat everyone down the floor. Chase Daniel into the paint, the drop off, and Kent the flush. Knotted up at 54, back and forth we go.
Coach Willis told us we're going to run with him. Nobody wants to run with Central Cabarrus. He thinks he has the athletes to do it, and they're doing a good job of it right now. But once again, 3rd, 4th quarter, it starts getting late. Here comes a little fatigue into play.
Little pressure from Hickory. You made a great point, John, I think, early in the 3rd quarter. These 2 teams have tweaked their press a little bit, both hampered with foul trouble.
Well, you can't be aggressive if they're not letting you play on the outside, not letting you beat each other inside. But on the outside, you can't touch anyone without being a foul.
And Josh Dalton, right on cue, sticks it in for 2 more.
I really think they need to feed Josh Dalton until Holbrook can prove he can stop him.
Everyone's on the edge of their seat here in the Joel. Strong take, off glass, tapped around, and the rebound pulled in by Chase Daniel. Chase Daniel surveys the lob to Kent, goes up and gets it, had it turned back by Holbrook, but stays with it for 2. Lead back up to 4 for the Vikings. Little trying to drive, tough shot, can't get it to go. Rebound Kent. Up the floor, Chase, he'll set his feet from 3. Rebound Kent, back up off the glass, and DJ Kent is taking over here late in the 3rd.
Yeah, he is so quick up on his second jump, Kendall. And, he's just pogoing up and down with 2 hands, and he's just literally taking this game over in the lane.
And Daniel Willis wants a timeout. We'll keep it right here in Lawrence Joel Coliseum.
Hickory had a little trouble keeping Central Cabarrus off the offensive glass early. Towards the end of the first half, they got a little bit better. But If you're going to allow DJ Kent to get an open run to the lane, he's going to be a problem.
You see DJ Kent here. Nice block by John Holbrook, and Kent able to stay with it. And then Chase Daniel can't connect on the three. Kent again. Back-to-back buckets for the Vikings.
And once again, if you looked at that highlight right there, Kendall, nobody put a hit on DJ Kent. What I mean by that is the old style of box out. You got to get a shoulder. You got to get a hip. You got to do something, especially Holbrook's got he's got almost 50, 60 pounds on DJ Kent. All he's got to do is bump him a little bit, and it's going to knock him off balance. But you can't just let him get a free run and just have space to operate it inside.
How about this game that has featured lead changes, ties, momentum swings, and a lower bowl here at Lawrence Joel Coliseum that is starting to get louder and louder, and the emotion starting to build here late third quarter.
Well, they know they're watching a tremendous game, Kendall, and it's only going to get better. I mean, these teams are getting after it. They know what it's at stake. They get a chance to go play for a state championship.
71st took down Westover earlier this afternoon. They await the winner. Powell gets into the paint, kicks it, Little from three, can't get the roll. And Chase Daniel with a big rebound. Numbers for the Vikings, and Carson all the way to the rack himself.
And I think we're starting to see a little bit of that fatigue, Kendall. Hickory's lost a little bit of the juice in their transition defense.
Krenzel brings it up the floor. Kicks it. This is Jordan Powell. Krenzel, he's lethal from there and connects.
That's a big three. They needed that. That just, I think Central Cabarrus had a 7 or 8 point run right there?
30 seconds remaining. Every time it looks like Central Cabarrus is going to pull away, Hickory's able to answer. Good tap out to Carson. He'll go up strong with the left and finish.
Boy, wow, take your time. Great job just taking your time, let defense commit.
Dangerous pass, Little nearly lost his footing. Little up the floor, had it poked free. Krenzel again from three. And Dalton collects the rebound on a whistle and a jump ball before the horn.
I think they're going to let the quarter end, Kendall.
And 64-57, the officials are going to talk about this. 7-point lead for Central Cabarrus. They add 0.3 of a second back on the game clock.
Who's got the possession?
The possession arrow favors Hickory with 0.3.
Well, it's got to be a lob play. You don't have a time for a catch and a shoot with .3. It's got to be a tap.
In 100 counties in North Carolina, we have over 800 agents. We are within the communities, and our job is to help you. It's not just a business relationship, it's a friendship.
North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance. Helping you is what we do best.
This presentation of the NFHS Network is brought to you by Uber Teen Accounts, introducing an Uber account for your teenager. Visit uber.com/teens to learn more.
We got 8 minutes here at Lawrence Joel Coliseum to send someone to the 3A state championship on Friday. Kendall Lewis, John Reister here with you. Well, they had originally put 0.3 of a second on the game clock. Instead, they let the quarter end out. So we start the fourth, and the Vikings a 7-point lead. What do you look for right here on this possession out of the gate to start the fourth from Hickory, John?
Well, I think they need to find either a wide open Jay Powell or get it inside to Holbrook.
Holbrook had great position inside. They didn't see him. And short on the three. Chase Daniel, the rebound. Gets it to his brother Carson. Back to Chase. The lob looking for Josh Dalton. And instead Chase stays with it and gets it to go.
6-1 over to the 6'8" John Holbrook. What a finish.
Lineberger surveys the floor. 45 seconds into the fourth quarter. Jamian Little's really come alive for Hickory in this second half. On the hedge, Lineberger plays through contact. And again, they're struggling to get paint touches for Holbrook here in the second half. And a good drive there to draw the foul on Josh Dalton. That's going to be Dalton's third. That's his first foul since late in the first quarter.
Yeah, I'm watching that replay. I don't really see what Josh Dalton did besides just stand there. If I'm Hickory, I come with some more pressure right here off this free throw. Make or miss, Kendall.
The second one's up and good for Lineberger, a guy that, as we mentioned, has got Division III NAIA interest, but uber athletic for the Red Tornadoes. 8-point lead, Central Cabarrus. Carson surveys and gets to the bucket again.
Jamian Little, probably the most athletic guard, small guard for Hickory. He's got to stay in his stance. That's just way too easy.
Little John is back out there with 4 fouls. Little, the kick. Open look from 3. How clutch it is. Jay Powell, who's had the hot hand all night for Hickory.
The three-point shooting has kept Hickory in this game, Kendall.
Hickory tonight, 10 made threes in this ball game. On the step back, Carson Daniel can't knock it down. Little John sizing up Dalton. Trying to drop it off. Loose on the floor. Picked up by the Vikings. Lead feet ahead. DJ Kent, the throwdown.
Here they come. Here they come, Kendall. They're going to ramp it up. Hickory better be ready. I see a lot of guys holding shorts down there with white jerseys on.
And the Central Cabarrus faithful on their feet here in Lawrence Joel. And a substitution, Jordan Powell checks back in for Hickory.
What a pass by Chase Daniel. One dribble, throws it up in head. Watch this. Boom. Touchdown. DJ Kent with the finish.
Tough shot over the 6'9" Josh Dalton. How about Jamian Little, who connects again? Carson on the roll to his brother Chase. Kicks it out. DJ Kent from distance. Lead back up to 10 for the Vikings. Active hands. This one poked
Oh, wow.
loose.
Wow.
And a late whistle comes in against the Vikings.
I don't understand that, Kendall. That ball was going the other way before the official blew the whistle. They got to do a better job than that.
Get a second look at DJ Kent at 6'6", the Lees McCray signee. Strong take to the rack. Good save, and it works out for Hickory. They'll take 3 instead of 2.
Boy, Jay Powell is on fire. Holy smokes. What is that, his 6th or 7th three? I don't know what's going on down there.
Wait a minute. I believe there's a bench warning against Hickory here at the 4:36 mark.
Boy, that's a huge swing right there. Looked like Central Cabarrus had the turnover going the other way for an easy 2. And then Jay Powell comes back with another big 3. That's a potential 5-6 point swing.
7-point lead for the Vikings. Chase Daniel slithers into the paint. Russell gets it back out front to Kent. Carson, floater, off glass. No, he missed it. And Holbrook collects the rebound. Long pass up the floor. Jordan Powell turned back off the glass. Chase Daniel picks it up. Carson gives it up. Dalton, and he shuffled the feet.
Wow. That's not a travel.
Wow. Tough momentum shift if you're Central Cabarrus.
That's a step back. Kids do it all the time. That's not a travel.
And Jordan Powell will bring it into the front court for Hickory. Holbrook's got position inside on Dalton. He's calling for it. They didn't see him. Krenzel pressured by Carson Daniel. Big possession right here for the Red Tornadoes.
You better not lose Jay Powell.
Jordan Powell drops it off. Acrobatic shot from Holbrook. He couldn't finish. And a third chance for the Red Tornadoes. And then a whistle and a foul.
Boy, Jordan Powell off the bench, freshman, is making some big plays and big moments for Hickory. None bigger than that offensive rebound and finish.
And Jordan Powell, the freshman, can't get the roll in the first. One of 2 at the charity stripe. Under 3.5 minutes to play, 2-possession game.
Coach Baker calling some from the bench.
Carson Daniel on the drive, and he gets knocked to the floor, a whistle and a foul.
That's going to be Jamie Little. I tell you what, Jamie Little's having a real hard time staying in front of Carson Daniel. If I'm Coach Baker, I might go just spread the floor and let Carson Daniel just take him to the rim.
And Hickory, as we mentioned, 6 lead changes in the first half alone. It was interesting. Hickory led most of the first quarter. And even when Central Cabarrus has got that double-digit lead, as Russell drives in and draws the contact. Even when it looked like Central Cabarrus in this second half is going to pull away, Hickory has come up in clutch moments.
They've had an answer, Kendall. You got to give them credit. I mean, they're a veteran team. They haven't lost a game all year, so this moment's not too big for them.
Mari Russell at the charity stripe strips the net on the first.
Now, on the flip side, Central Cabarrus has been in games like this before. They've played national teams down to the wire, so they're not going to get rattled either.
Central Cabarrus hasn't lost a game in 2 years, 1 game in 3 years. You think of dynasty programs across the state of North Carolina, and their non-conference schedule extremely tough this year with a couple of private schools. Good back cut. Lineberger missed the bunny. Holbrook can't follow it up, but a third chance, yes.
And a quick timeout by Daniel Willis. Going to try to calm his guys down a little bit and probably give them a blow. They need a rest right now. This is going to be a long 3 minutes.
Get a second look. Dalton just couldn't quite corral that rebound. It's strong hands from the big fella, John Holbrook.
Yeah, he's when he gets his hands on it, it's over. Now, he hasn't got his hands on it very often tonight. So, you know, it's going to be interesting this last 2.5, 3 minutes because, you know, Central Cabarrus is just going to keep coming at you. If I'm Hickory, I'm going to consider in the half court spreading the floor and maybe, you know, get some breakdowns defensively on Central Cabarrus, but spread it out. Maybe you can get the easy off penetration.
This has been a ball game, folks. Back and forth all night long. Each team with 9 assists. You think about Central Cabarrus, 27 of 49, shooting 55%, held well below their average. They shoot over 60% from the field as a team. Hickory shooting 47%.
But they're 11 for 20 from 3. That's the problem. A problem for Central Cabarrus, not a problem for Hickory.
And each team with exactly 11 turnovers in this ball game.
Well, that's outstanding number considering the pace of the play and how great these teams are both playing defensively.
Hickory comes with pressure, trailing by 6, 75-69.
I'm thinking they're going to get one trap and then retreat. Boy, that's a dangerous pass.
Across the chase. Up ahead, Russell looked at the 3. Instead, Central Cabarrus is going to reset. And Carson Daniel going to pull it back out. Sizing up Littlejohn, who's playing with 4. Carson, the kick. And Russell looked at it again. It's it back into the hands of Carson Daniel, and he's tripped up. So third team foul on Hickory. They've got one more to give here at the 2:23 mark.
Central Cabarrus just took 35 seconds off the clock. That's a long possession for them. Maybe Coach Baker's decided, hey, we're just gonna, we're gonna spread it out, use some clock, and make these guys chase us around a little bit.
Little hit the deck, no whistle. Russell, and this one through the hands of DJ Kent.
And I don't understand where Russell is going. There's nowhere to go. I mean, the rest of the Hickory defense is standing in the lane. Just take it out the other side and spread it back out.
Little had his pocket picked. Russell on the break. Russell finger rolls it for 2. Defense to offense. What a big sequence. Down the alley, this one turned back by Kent. Chase Daniel nowhere to go, through contact. And Jim Baker calls a timeout.
What a great job by Central Cabarrus to run the Hickory High School shooter off that three-point line. They've been burned by the 3 all night, and they ran them off that line and then got the great block inside.
How about Carson Daniel, the first one on the floor, and Russell leaking out in transition.
I got to tell you what, Hickory ain't backing down. They're coming at Central as hard as Central's coming at them. You got to tip your hat to them. They played a whale of a ball game.
77-69. Central Cabarrus, a perfect 32-0 last year, won the 3A state title. You go back 2 years ago, lost in this game in the regional final. That is the last time that they lost. March of 2022. And a program, as we mentioned, with DJ Kent, Chase, and Carson Daniel that have over 100 wins and only 3 losses in their high school careers.
Well, and that's why moments like this aren't going to rattle them. I think they're going to come out of this timeout, break the pressure, and then spread it out. They're going to make Hickory either have to foul them, trap them, create a turnover, or they're going to get a layup or shoot free throws. I'd be surprised if Central Cabarrus doesn't make Hickory extend out defensively.
A date with 71st on Friday for the 3A state title, and a whistle and a reach-in foul.
So one more, Central Cabarrus is going to be shooting 2 free throws on every foul.
No more to give if you're Hickory. Oh, Carson Daniel just split the double team. Acrobatic shot knocked to the floor. Dalton back up, gets it to go.
And he threw that shot up knowing that Josh Dalton was right there and there were no Hickory players around the basket.
Hickory trailing by 10. Got to move quickly. Less than 90 seconds left to play. Little skips it. Powell, he'll try the three. Russell collects the rebound. And this one trickles out of bounds, and it's going to stay on this end with Hickory.
Well, I tell you what, Central got lucky. Josh Powell was wide open. I don't know how you lose him in this situation.
Yeah, Jay Powell has had the hot hand for the Red Tornadoes in this ball game. You think about what they've been able to do from three, and they're not done yet. Jamian Little sticks a three in a timeout. Daniel Willis and Hickory.
Wow, that was a deep three, Kendall. That was quick.
Don't go anywhere, folks. Still 1:08 left to play.
Well, look how quick he catches this ball and lets it go. Didn't even hesitate. And that's 2 steps behind the college three-point line.
Well, Jamian Little, as we mentioned, already over 1,000 points. Daniel Willis said he is quick twitch, a high major Division I football player that's got plenty of Division I offers already. Here's a look at that 3A bracket. Again, game time on Friday to be determined in the 3A state championship. It will be right here in Lawrence Joel Coliseum. And we got 1:08 for someone to punch their ticket and take on 71st out of Fayetteville for the 3A state title.
You know, Kendall, I'm looking at Central Cabarrus' free throw percentages. All their guys are 70% or above, with the exception of Noah and Edmiston. So, you know, pick your poison if you're Hickory, if you decide to start fouling in this situation. DJ Kent is the only player on the floor for Central that's under 70% right now.
They get this one into Carson Daniel. Skips it. Dangerous pass. They find Dalton on the back end and just flushes it home for two. Less than a minute to go. Little kicks it. Jordan Powell sets his feet from three. Can't get the roll. And Chase Daniel pulls in the rebound.
Now you got to foul if you're Hickory. No, you don't.
Loose ball picked up and laid in by Littlejohn. Wow, Hickory will not go away.
Boy, that was quick. I thought they were going to try to foul. They just ripped the ball away from Central Cabarrus.
They think about this ball game. Hickory 31-0. We mentioned out of the Western Foothills, and that was a really good conference. It had North Lincoln, who was a top 10, top 15 team in the state of 3A all season long, and Central Cabarrus out of that South Piedmont 3A. Really good conference as well, with J.M. Robinson, Concord, West Rowan, Carson, some really good teams in that league as well. Central Cabarrus went perfect in that league for the third straight year. 81-74, 43 and a half seconds to send someone to the state championship. They get it into Carson Daniel. Carson Daniel tripped up from behind.
That might be the 5th foul on Jamian Little.
John Holbrook's going to check back in, and that is it for Isaiah Littlejohn, and the emotions starting to set in with 41 seconds. Littlejohn, a senior for Hickory, has had a storied career. And Carson Daniel swirls in the first free throw.
Daniel's 72% from the line, and he doesn't miss them when it pressure's on. This is the guy Coach Baker wants at the line in this situation.
Second one's up and good, and Jim Baker is going to get Noah Edmiston back in the game for Amari Russell.
A little more size, help on the offensive boards. Central Cabarrus gets, oh my goodness.
Oh, a hard screen from Holbrook. Carson Daniel gets back up, but he took a shot after a bucket, and then a whistle and a foul in the corner.
Boy, that was a heck of a collision on that screen by Holbrook. Here it comes. I don't see anything dirty about it. You just have a little guy running into a big guy. You'd hate to have somebody get hurt from either one of these teams this late in the game. They played too good of a game.
Both have left it all out on the line. DJ Ken at the free throw line with 29 seconds. These two teams, as we mentioned, the top two teams all year in the West region in RPI rankings, 1 and 2. Even though Central Cabarrus won the state championship last year, Hickory edged them out in the RPI. That's how they got the #1 seed in the state playoffs. And they have been on a collision course for one another all year, and this game has lived up to the hype tonight.
Oh, absolutely. These fans have gotten a tremendous ball game to watch this evening. It's been a treat to stand here and watch it with you and call this game. You're not going to see a better high school basketball game than this. You better know where your shooters are if you're Central Cabarrus.
Carson Daniel takes it away. Russell, the exclamation point.
And that's going to about do it.
Krenzel in the corner trying to spin. Kicks it back out. Wilfong will try the three. Tapped back. Count it. And there's a foul with 6.2 seconds. But it's not going to matter. How about the takeaway from Carson Daniel and the dagger from Amari Russell?
Well, a fitting way for this game to kind of come to a conclusion. Central Cabarrus stealing the ball, getting an easy run out on the other end.
And the Vikings are moving on to the 3A state championship.
And I want to compliment and congratulate Hickory High School. They just gave Central Cabarrus the best game they've had in 2 years. I mean, they absolutely fought all the way through to the end. They just didn't have enough at the end.
What a ball game. DJ Kent down the stretch was huge for the Vikings. How do you choose a player of the game in this one? There were plenty of players we could have chosen from. DJ Kent finishes with 25 points and 8 rebounds for the Vikings. A monster second half, and Central Cabarrus wins it 87-78, going back to try to defend their crown in the 3A state championship on Friday. For Kendall Lewis, John Reister, our producer Mike Moore, and the rest of our NFHS Network crew, we say so long and good night from Lawrence Joel Coliseum.